but I feel like there's too many people to go around. How many are here at this gathering for the first time?
This
Yeah.
particular place.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's gathering.
Okay, great. So it seems like this is a lot of people have come here many times. That's great. This is my first time at this house, and I want to thank our host for a lovely setting and a lovely meal. So this evening, the topic is the spiritual destiny of America, and for those of you who might be new to learning about the Baha'i faith, I just want to start by mentioning that the Baha'i faith was founded by Baha'u'llah, which means the glory of God, in 1844, with the mission really of unifying the human race and breathing a new life into the spirit of the world. And the Baha'i faith has no clergy. So I'm not clergy of the Baha'i faith, I'm just a person. And what I'm about to present to you is really my own individual understanding and interpretation, and really shouldn't be viewed as any kind of official position on anything. So that by way of introduction. So why are we talking about the spiritual destiny of America? It seems like a couple of months ago our country may have changed, or seemed like it changed courses. I'm not really here to talk about politics, but I think the political situation has changed, and that's caused a lot of us to really question where we're going as a country. And Baha'is actually don't participate in partisan politics. So while we can vote and we can serve in the government in appointed positions, we don't discuss candidates, we don't affiliate ourselves with political parties, we obey our governments as long as they don't ask us to recant our faith. And the reason for this is really that the purpose of the Baha'i faith is to unify humankind. And so we don't want to engage in anything that is forcing people to take sides and be contentious and cause division. But I think that at the same time, the recent election has brought up some new emotions, some new processes. It's surfaced a lot of conversations about excluding people. We have recent executive orders that are supposedly trying to keep Muslims out of the country. We're talking about reinforcing illegal immigration and possibly targeting anybody who might look like a Mexican and harassing them. So all of these things are very concerning to anybody who is who's concerned with unity and concerned with the well-being of the entire human race. And sometimes it might even seem like our civil society, our ability to talk with each other in a way that is productive and constructive is crumbling. And that in and of itself can even be terrifying. I live in Washington, D.C., so we're kind of ground zero for a lot of this stuff, and people are very upset. Personally, I've been very emotionally affected by what's been going on in our country the past couple of months. But at the same time, as a Baha'i, I can say that I'm reassured. And why is that? It's because Baha'u'llah actually told us that this is coming. Maybe not specifically exactly this sequence of events, but he told us that this was coming. So consider this quotation from Baha'u'llah. He said, "Soon will the present day order be rolled up and a new one spread out in its stead." he said, "The world's equilibrium hath been upset through the vibrating influence of this this new world order. Mankind's ordered life hath been revolutionized through the agency of this wondrous system, the like of which mortal eyes have never witnessed." And he also said, "The signs of impending convulsions and chaos can now be discerned, inasmuch as the prevailing order appears to me to be lamentably defective." So Baha'u'llah was writing this in the mid to late 1800s. So he's talking about large processes in the world. And he's warning us that we better hold on to our seats, because the world is going to be changing in some very substantive ways. Another concept that can help us as we are holding on to our seats is this concept of crisis and victory. So the great-grandson of Baha'u'llah, who was named Shoghi Effendi, he was the leader of the Baha'i faith between 1921 and 1957. He often talked about this phenomenon of crisis and victory, which is a characteristic of progress, both on the individual level and on a societal level. So oftentimes a leap forward is preceded by a severe setback or crisis. And this is similar to fire that burns impurity away from gold. So when we understand crises in this perspective, it can help us to view them in a more positive light. And so when Baha'is look at what's happening in the United States today, as upset and frightened as some of us may be, we can also see this as a crisis that is destined to lead to a huge victory, the nature of which we can really only guess. So here's Shoghi Effendi explaining about crisis and victory. He says, "Such simultaneous processes of rise and fall, of integration and of disintegration, of order and chaos, with their continuous and reciprocal reactions on each other, are but aspects of a greater plan, one and indivisible, whose source is God, whose author is Baha'u'llah, the theater of whose operations is the entire planet, and whose ultimate objectives are the unity of the human race and the peace of all mankind." So that's kind of a very comforting perspective on where we're going. He also says, "The world, especially in these days, is full of woes and sufferings. We should be brave and have a stout heart. Trials and tribulations should arise in us added vigor and greater determination, and not dampen our zeal and kill our spirit." So we're going to take a little music break and have a song that's related to crisis and victory. And this song is called "Softness